Hello everyone. The millionaire version of you already exists. Wake him up. There exists within you a version of yourself that already possesses everything you desire: the wealth, the freedom, the luxury, the joy, the fulfillment. This version of you is not a fantasy, not a dream in the distant future, but a living reality waiting to be awakened. The millionaire version of you already exists. Your task is not to create him, not to chase him, but to awaken him, to become aware of him through the power of imagination, belief, and assumption. Everything in this world is a shadow of consciousness. You cannot experience what you are not conscious of being. All states of being, poverty, wealth, sickness, health, failure, success, exist eternally in the infinite imagination of God, which is your own wonderful human imagination. When you say, I am, you are announcing the God within you, for I am is his name forever. What follows I am becomes flesh, becomes fact, becomes your world. If you say, I am poor, your world rearranges itself to reflect that inner declaration. If you say, I am wealthy, then unseen forces begin to move, opportunities begin to form, and a new reality starts to unfold before your eyes. You do not become wealthy by external struggle. You become wealthy by internal identification. The millionaire version of you is not out there somewhere. He is within. He already exists in the dimension of imagination. You do not have to build him. You have to tune into his frequency. You have to think his thoughts, feel his feelings, see through his eyes, and walk in his assumptions until his reality becomes yours. You have been trained to believe that you must strive, that you must hustle, that success is earned by hard labor and long hours. But the truth is that reality mirrors belief. Action without inner conviction is wasted motion, but one assumption held in faith moves mountains. Everything begins with an inner conversation. The words you whisper to yourself, the images you play in your mind, the emotions you dwell upon, these are the seeds of your future. If your inner conversations are filled with doubt, lack, and fear, you will continue to experience a life of struggle. But if your inner conversations are those of abundance, gratitude, and certainty, the outer world will conform. It cannot resist the command of your consciousness, for consciousness is the only reality. Imagine right now the version of you who is already a millionaire. What does he feel like? How does he wake up in the morning? What thoughts move through his mind? What kind of peace fills his heart? What confidence radiates from his presence? Feel that version of yourself as vividly as you can. Let his world become your inner reality. Do not think of him as someone separate. Think from him. When you think from the end, you move reality toward its fulfillment. The imagination is the creative power of God within you. All that you see in your world was first imagined. Every invention, every fortune, every empire began as an idea held persistently in the mind. You are using imagination all day long, though most do so unconsciously, imagining fears, lack, and limitation. To awaken the millionaire within, you must discipline the imagination. Direct it consciously toward wealth, abundance, and the feeling of already having achieved your goal. Neville once said, "Dare to believe in the reality of your assumption, and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment." This is the secret. The assumption, when persisted in, becomes fact. It does not matter what the outer world says. It does not matter what your bank account displays or what your circumstances appear to be. The outer world is only a delayed reflection of inner belief. To change it, you must first change the inner conversation. Stop identifying with lack. You are not a person trying to become wealthy. You are wealth itself unfolding through the divine process of awareness. You are not to beg or hope for riches. You are to claim them as your natural birthright. The same power that created the universe dwells within you, waiting for your recognition. You are the operant power, not the servant of conditions, but the master of them. When you feel poor, you give power to limitation. When you feel rich, you call forth abundance. Everything responds to feeling. It is feeling that creates the tone of your world. If you can feel the reality of being wealthy without needing physical evidence, you are awakening the millionaire within. The law of consciousness states that what you assume to be true, though unseen, will materialize when persisted in. Therefore, persistence in the assumption of wealth brings about its manifestation. Your task is not to make it happen, but to remain faithful to the end you have imagined. Every night before you sleep, enter into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and relax the body. Imagine yourself living in the home you desire, spending money freely, enjoying your wealth, helping others with ease. Feel the satisfaction, the relief, the pride, the gratitude that would naturally be yours. Do not force the image, allow it to unfold naturally, as though you were observing a scene already real. When sleep takes over in that state, you have impressed the subconscious mind, and it must reproduce what is impressed upon it. The subconscious is the womb of creation. It does not question or judge. It accepts and manifests. The world you see tomorrow is born from the feelings you cultivate tonight. So ask yourself, what am I accepting as true of myself right now? Am I identifying with struggle or with abundance? Am I living in faith or in fear? The answers to these questions shape your destiny. Life always mirrors consciousness. If you awaken every morning feeling like a millionaire, confident, peaceful, grateful, soon your world will rearrange itself to support that identity. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot say, I am wealthy, and at the same time worry about bills. Choose this day whom you will serve: faith or doubt, abundance or lack, imagination or circumstance. Every choice is a declaration of being. When you persist in the inner assumption that you are already the millionaire version of yourself, reality must bend to your command. It may appear slowly at first, but it will come. Your persistence is the secret ingredient. Do not look for signs of success. Become the sign. The world reflects who you are, not what you wish. When you walk with the confidence of wealth, opportunities seem to appear out of thin air. When you speak as one who has, people treat you accordingly. When you think from abundance, your vibration changes and life mirrors that new frequency. This is not mere fantasy. It is divine law. Creation is finished. Every state you could ever occupy already exists. You are not creating wealth. You are selecting the state called wealthy and embodying it. Just as a radio picks a frequency, you tune yourself through belief. The state you dwell in determines the life you live. So dwell in the end. Live as though it were true now. Feel as though it were already yours. The universe cannot help but respond. Do not confuse action with creation. Action is the shadow of inner movement. When your inner world changes, inspired action will flow naturally. You will be led effortlessly to people, places, and circumstances that align with your new identity. But remember, action follows faith, it does not precede it. You must believe first. The millionaire within you does not act from desperation. He acts from assurance. He knows who he is. He knows everything he touches turns to gold because his consciousness of wealth precedes the evidence. To awaken him, you must abandon your attachment to the old self, the self that doubts, that fears, that counts every penny and worries about tomorrow. That self must die so the true self may rise. You cannot serve both the old and the new. You must walk boldly into the identity of wealth, even when the senses deny it. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Speak to yourself with authority. Declare daily, I am a millionaire now. Wealth flows to me effortlessly. Everything I touch prospers. I am surrounded by abundance. These are not empty affirmations, they are commands to your subconscious. When spoken with conviction, they rewire your inner pattern of belief. The subconscious will then attract into your experience all that aligns with your new identity. Do not wait for external proof. The proof comes after the faith. You must feel it real now. That feeling of inner certainty is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Every great success story began with someone daring to believe before there was evidence. You must be that person. You must walk by faith, not by sight. You may say, but how can I believe when I see no money, when my circumstances contradict it? I tell you, your senses deceive you. They only show you the past, the residue of old beliefs. The present moment is a seed of infinite potential. If you persist in imagining wealth, your senses will soon conform. The outer world must yield to the inner conviction. The world is plastic to the mold of your assumption. Remember, imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is the creative act of God. The moment you imagine yourself wealthy and feel it real, creation is finished. The bridge of incidents will appear, events, ideas, opportunities will unfold to lead you naturally to that end. Do not attempt to manipulate the bridge. Simply live in the end and allow life to unfold. You are the dreamer and the dream. Nothing exists outside of your consciousness. People are not obstacles or saviors. They are reflections of your belief. When you assume the state of the millionaire, everyone you meet will play their part in harmony with that assumption. Some will offer help, others opportunities, some inspiration, all as if orchestrated by a divine hand, because indeed it is your divine imagination orchestrating it. You are not small, you are not limited. You are the operant power of the universe individualized. The same power that hung the stars dwells within you, waiting for your recognition. The moment you say, I am, and feel it to be true, you are declaring your divinity. The millionaire version of you is simply the divine you expressing abundance. There is no separation between God and you. There is only awareness. And what you are aware of being, you become. Do not pray for money. Pray from the feeling of already having it. Gratitude is the evidence of possession. When you give thanks for something unseen, you declare that it is already yours. Gratitude opens the door for manifestation, for it is the language of fulfillment. Feel gratitude now as though your wealth were already complete. That feeling magnetizes your world to match your assumption. The world around you will begin to shift. People will speak differently to you. New doors will open. Synchronicities will multiply, but remain calm. Do not be surprised, it is the law working perfectly. You are simply awakening to who you always were. The millionaire version of you was never missing. You were simply unaware of him. The moment awareness returns, reality adjusts. Each morning, look in the mirror and greet him. Good morning, millionaire. Say it with sincerity. Walk as he would walk. Make decisions as he would. If an opportunity appears, ask, what would the millionaire me do now? Then act from that identity. This consistent alignment creates powerful momentum. The old patterns dissolve, and the new reality stabilizes. You may experience resistance, doubts, fears, and old memories may surface. Do not fight them. Observe them with love and detach. They are merely remnants of the old self, fading away. Replace them with your new self, image. Continue assuming the end. Persist in the feeling of wealth. In time, the invisible becomes visible. There is no limit to what you can manifest when you know who you are. Wealth, love, health, all are states of consciousness. You are free to occupy any state you desire. Choose wisely. Choose abundance. Choose freedom. Choose to awaken the millionaire within. Your wealth will not come as a reward. It will come as a reflection. You are the cause. The world is the effect. Change yourself and everything changes. The secret is not in doing but in being. Be the millionaire now. Live in the awareness of it. Feel it real. Let the world mirror that feeling back to you in perfect detail. This is the eternal law. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the wish will become fact. The world will rearrange itself to make it so. You are never a victim of circumstance. You are the author of it. You have imagined every event of your life, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now you are invited to imagine consciously, to dream deliberately, to awaken the highest version of yourself. So tonight, before you sleep, see yourself as that millionaire, calm, content, free, giving generously, living beautifully. Let the feeling fill your being. As you drift into sleep, whisper to yourself, I am the millionaire I have always been. And when you wake, carry that feeling with you through the day. Live from it, not toward it. That is how you awaken him, through feeling, through faith, through persistence. For the millionaire version of you already exists. He is not in the future. He is here and now, waiting behind the veil of your disbelief. Lift the veil, believe, dare to assume, and as you do, the universe will echo back, yes, this is who you are. The time for waiting is over. The time for believing is now. The millionaire within you is awake. Alive as him, and watch the world bow in reflection to your newfound awareness of wealth, power, and divine abundance. You must learn the art of feeling wealth before it is visible. This is the secret. Hidden in plain sight feeling is the secret. The outer world always bends to the inner feeling. If you can master this one law, you can have anything you desire. You are not here to struggle, to chase, or to beg life for what is already yours. You are here to remember who you are, the creative power of God made manifest as you. Every single limitation you believe in is self-imposed. Every boundary exists only in consciousness. The moment you dissolve it within, it disappears without. You have perhaps been conditioned to think wealth comes from effort, education, or inheritance. But wealth is not a product of work. It is a product of state. The wealthy man and the poor man move through the same world, but their inner states interpret and select different experiences. One walks in the feeling of abundance, the other in the feeling of lack. Both receive confirmation of their inner world. Life always echoes your assumption. When you awaken to this, you stop trying to change things through struggle. You stop fighting appearances. You begin to withdraw attention from what you do not want and feed only what you do want. You stop complaining, because complaint feeds the very reality you wish to escape. You start thanking, because gratitude feeds the reality you wish to live. You begin to act from a quiet knowing, the knowing that creation is finished, and your only task is selection. You select with imagination. The imagination is the creative power of the universe individualized in you. When you imagine yourself as the millionaire version of you and persist in that inner movie, you are selecting that state. It already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. You are not calling it into being, you are calling it into focus. The unseen becomes seen through your awareness of it. The outer world will fight to convince you otherwise. It will whisper doubts through bills, rejections, and temporary setbacks. But these are merely the echoes of your old state. They are the final flickers of the past trying to hold your attention. Do not engage them. Persist in the new assumption. The outer world is always a step behind the inner. Stay faithful to your inner conviction, and soon the reflection will align perfectly. It is easy to believe when the evidence is visible, but true mastery is believing before the evidence appears. The world calls this faith, but in truth it is divine knowing. The millionaire version of you already exists in consciousness. Every time you imagine him, you are merging with him. Every time you feel his confidence, you awaken him more fully. The world you perceive will gradually rearrange itself to reveal him as your outer reality. There is no limit to what you can assume. If you wish to own a mansion, imagine living there now. Walk through its halls in imagination. Smell the wood polish, feel the cool marble beneath your feet, hear the echo of your footsteps in the grand corridor, sit on your imagined balcony and watch the horizon of your success stretch before you. Make it so real in feeling that the outer world must eventually conform. This is not imagination as escape, this is imagination as creation. All things are generated from within. The world is a mirror, not a maker. It reflects, it does not produce. Therefore, stop asking the mirror to smile before you do. Smile first. Feel rich first. The reflection will follow without fail. The universe has no choice but to respond to the vibration of your assumption. Every morning, claim your wealth in silence. Before your feet touch the ground, affirm quietly, I am wealthy, I am successful, I am the millionaire version of myself now. Feel the truth of those words. Let them sink deeply into your being. Throughout the day, whenever doubt arises, return to this feeling. Speak silently to yourself. This is who I am. It may feel unnatural at first, but persist. What you persist in feeling becomes natural, and what becomes natural becomes your world. You must not look at wealth as something separate from you. If you see it as something out there, you push it away. You must feel it as in here. The secret is identification, not pursuit. You do not chase what you already are. You embody it. The rich man within you is not chasing money. He is expressing abundance. His wealth is an extension of his inner fullness, not a compensation for lack. That is why the poor man, when given money without inner change, loses it, for he remains poor in consciousness. Everything depends on the self-concept. Change your self-concept, and your world changes instantly in meaning and eventually in form. You may have been saying for years, I want to be rich, but wanting affirms lack. Replace wanting with being. Instead of saying, I want wealth, say, I am wealthy. The subconscious accepts what is felt as true now. It cannot differentiate between imagination and reality. To it, feeling is fact. Do not concern yourself with how. The how belongs to the unseen intelligence that governs all creation. Your only responsibility is to assume the end and persist in it. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally. People, events, and circumstances will move in perfect order. You will be led step by step, often without realizing it, to the fulfillment of your assumption. But if you insist on controlling the how, you interfere with the process. Your job is inner certainty. The universe handles the orchestration. The millionaire within you acts with calm authority. He does not rush. He does not chase opportunities. He attracts them. He walks into every room knowing he belongs there. He expects success. This expectation is his magnetism. He understands that wealth is not something to earn, it is something to express. It flows from him effortlessly because he feels himself to be its source. To awaken him, you must adopt his inner posture. You must walk as though the world already recognizes your power. You cannot fool the subconscious with words alone. It listens to feeling. You may affirm wealth verbally while feeling fear, and the subconscious will obey the feeling, not the words. Therefore, always move your feeling. Words are merely tools to shift inner state. The true transformation occurs when your emotional tone matches the assumption of wealth. That tone becomes a silent command to creation. The inner world is more real than the outer. The outer world is a shadow, a projection, a dream. Do not chase shadows. Change the light within. The moment you see yourself as already wealthy, the dream must reflect it. Your business, your relationships, your opportunities all will transform. They have no choice but to mirror your state. You may think, but I've been trying for years and nothing changes. The truth is, you have been trying while still feeling poor. Trying affirms separation. Stop trying and begin being. You cannot reach the state of wealth by effort, you reach it by acceptance. Accept it now. Accept it inwardly as done. Feel that gentle certainty rise within. Of course I am wealthy. Of course abundance is mine. That quiet assurance is the signal to the universe. Neville said, "The feeling of the wish fulfilled must be felt until it becomes dominant in your mind. When it becomes dominant, it manifests effortlessly. The law is impersonal. It does not favor the good or the bad, the deserving or undeserving. It gives to all according to their assumption. Therefore, assume boldly, assume generously, assume the best for yourself and others. When you assume wealth, do not do it to escape fear or lack. Do it because it is natural for you to be abundant. You were born to express the fullness of life. You dishonor the divine power within you when you accept limitation as truth. Poverty is not noble. It is ignorance of one's divine nature. You were not sent here to suffer. You were sent here to awaken. And your wealth, your success, your freedom, they are the outer evidences of inner awakening. Every time you affirm, "I am wealthy," you are speaking the truth of your being. You are aligning with the divine identity that has always been yours. The more you dwell in that truth, the more your outer life becomes a testimony of it. You cannot fake consciousness. The universe reads vibration, not words. But once your vibration changes, the whole cosmos bends to serve you. See yourself handling money with joy. Feel yourself giving generously. Picture yourself investing wisely, living abundantly, traveling freely. These are not fantasies, they are previews of coming attractions, reflections of your chosen state. The more vividly you imagine them, the more magnetic they become. Emotion is the fuel of imagination. The stronger the feeling, the faster the manifestation. Do not think small. The universe does not reward small thinking. It mirrors it. Think expansively. Declare, "I am a multimillionaire." Let the mind rebel at will, because it has been conditioned by limitation. Persist anyway. The old self will resist, but persistence dissolves resistance. Every great transformation begins with inner rebellion against the old identity. You must learn to dwell in the silence, that sacred space between thoughts where the feeling of "I am" resides. In that stillness, you will sense the truth of your being. There is no poverty there, no fear, no lack. There is only infinite potential. The moment you touch that awareness, even for a second, you will know that the millionaire version of you is not separate. He is your natural self. Train your mind to return to this awareness throughout the day. When challenges arise, pause, close your eyes, and remember, I am the source. You are not a victim of conditions. You are the creator of them. Speak inwardly to your world as the master, not the servant. Command, do not beg. Declare, do not doubt. The inner word is power. Use it wisely. When others speak of limitation, remain silent within. Do not argue. Simply know the truth. They are experiencing their own assumption. You need not convert anyone. Your own transformation will speak louder than any sermon. The world changes automatically when you do. Your wealth will inspire others more than your words ever could. Observe the feelings that dominate your day. Are they feelings of lack or feelings of abundance? If you find yourself worrying, shift at once. Close your eyes and enter into the feeling of peace that wealth brings. See your accounts overflowing. Feel the ease of financial freedom. Breathe it in. The body will relax, and that relaxation is the sign that the subconscious is accepting the new pattern. You are never too late, never too far gone, never too limited to change. The moment you assume a new state, the universe begins to rearrange itself. Even now, unseen currents are flowing to fulfill your dominant feeling. Do not measure time. Time is the servant of belief. When you persist, the invisible becomes visible with mathematical certainty. Understand this deeply. There is no outer power. There is no luck. no fate, no accident. There is only consciousness expressing itself in infinite variety. You are that consciousness. You are the cause of your wealth, your success, your every experience. When you truly grasp this, you will never again fear loss, for you know you can recreate any condition at will. Wealth is consciousness. Money is but its shadow. If you lose money but retain the consciousness of wealth, it must return. But if you gain money while holding the consciousness of poverty, it must vanish. Guard your inner state more carefully than your possessions, for from it all possessions flow. The inner is the fountain, the outer is the stream. Whenever you feel tempted to doubt, remind yourself, it is already done. Repeat it until the feeling of completion washes over you. That feeling is the creative act itself. Once you have felt it, release it. Let it go, knowing it must appear. The seed does not need your constant digging. It needs your faith. In your daily life, cultivate symbols of abundance. Dress well, carry yourself with dignity, maintain order around you. These are not acts of vanity, but of alignment. They signal to the subconscious that you value yourself, that you expect excellence. The outer behavior reinforces the inner belief, and together they crystallize into fact. The millionaire within you does not rush, for he knows everything is already his. He does not speak of limitation, for he knows his word shapes worlds. He gives freely, for he trusts in infinite supply. To awaken him, begin to emulate his qualities now. Walk with his calm assurance, think with his confidence, speak with his authority, feel with his generosity. You are not pretending you are remembering, and as you continue to dwell in that state morning after morning, night after night, the transformation becomes inevitable. You begin to see differently, feel differently, act differently. Opportunities once invisible become obvious. People respond to you in new ways. The outer reflection gradually solidifies around the new self-concept. What once seemed miraculous becomes ordinary. The world you see is not solid. It is a living mirror, shifting with every breath of your imagination. You may think matter is fixed, but in truth, it is consciousness slowed down into form. The same power that moves stars moves through your thoughts, shaping every atom to match the tone of your inner state. This is why a change of consciousness changes everything. The moment you identify with wealth, the matter of your world begins to obey that new command. You are constantly radiating an unseen vibration. People, opportunities, and events align themselves to match it. If your vibration is fear of loss, life will give you reasons to fear. If your vibration is gratitude for wealth, life will shower you with more to be grateful for. You cannot hide your inner state. The world reads it as clearly as you read words on a page. The world is your mirror, exact, merciless, and infinitely kind, showing you not to punish, but to awaken. When you walk as the millionaire you truly are, the world rearranges itself around that confidence. You find yourself meeting people who reflect that richness back to you. You find your speech changing, your posture changing, your choices changing. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer doubt, you know. You no longer hope, you assume. For assumption, held in faith, is the bridge between desire and its fulfillment. When you assume, you claim. When you claim, you awaken. Every assumption is a seed planted in the fertile soil of imagination. Some seeds grow quickly, others take time to sprout, but all will bear fruit if nurtured in feeling. The emotion you attach to your assumption is the water that feeds it. Feel deeply, feel fully, feel the truth of your desire as though it were already accomplished. That feeling is your creative signature. It commands the invisible to take form. Many people say, I will believe it when I see it. But the mystic says, I will see it when I believe it. For belief is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Belief is sight in the higher dimension. When you believe in the unseen, you awaken the unseen to visibility. The universe bends around your belief like metal around a magnet. It cannot resist the command of consciousness. You have within you the power that creates galaxies, yet you have been using it to worry, to doubt, to fear. Every fearful thought is a misuse of divine energy. You are imagining unconsciously, producing effects you then call bad luck. But nothing happens by chance. Everything you experience was first imagined, whether you knew it or not. The moment you awaken to this, you take back your authority. You realize you can reverse any condition by reversing your inner feeling. Let us say you stand before a mirror and dislike what you see. You do not attempt to change the reflection with your hands. You change your expression. You smile, and the reflection smiles, so too with life. Stop fighting the shadow. Change the self that casts it. The millionaire you wish to see in your world must first be felt within. Then the reflection, the house, the car, the success, the recognition will appear naturally. There is a rhythm to manifestation. First, you assume the state. Then, as you persist, the bridge of incidents begins. Things start moving, though you may not see the full picture. People come into your life, ideas arise, coincidences occur. Trust the process. The bridge is not your concern. Your concern is to stay faithful to the end. The bridge will carry you there. You are not to strain or force. You are to rest in faith. Faith is rest, not struggle. To live by imagination is to live by divine law. When you live from imagination, you no longer react to appearances. You act from knowing. Appearances may contradict your desire, that is their nature, but you remain unmoved. You remember that the outer world is only a delayed reflection of the inner. You hold to your inner reality as the true one, and the outer must yield. This steadfastness is the difference between those who manifest deliberately and those who drift unconsciously. You might say, but isn't it foolish to believe I am wealthy when my bank account says otherwise? No, it is wisdom. For the account reflects the past, not the present state of consciousness. If you wish to change it, you must stop reacting to it and start imagining beyond it. The fool trusts the shadow, the wise trust the source, and you are the source. The law is simple, but it requires discipline. Most people change their assumption with every gust of circumstance. They feel wealthy one day and poor the next, and so they oscillate endlessly. To manifest deliberately, you must be consistent. You must persist in the feeling of wealth regardless of appearance. When doubt whispers, silence it with faith. When fear rises, drown it in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest vibration, for it declares the wish fulfilled. To give thanks for what you have not yet seen is to possess it spiritually, and what is possessed within must manifest without. Begin to cultivate an atmosphere of wealth in your mind. Surround yourself inwardly with images of success. Hear the sounds of abundance, the rustle of money, the laughter of freedom, the voice of generosity. Smell the fragrance of new beginnings. Feel the texture of luxury beneath your fingertips. Make your imagination sensorial, alive, real. The subconscious responds most powerfully to vivid emotion and sensory detail. It cannot resist a picture charged with feeling. As you do this daily, your vibration stabilizes in wealth. You begin to feel different, calmer, more confident, more generous. People sense it. They are drawn to it. You become magnetic, and opportunities flow effortlessly. What once required effort now happens naturally. For when your state changes, action becomes inspired, and inspired action always succeeds. Do not misunderstand, you will still act, but your action will no longer come from lack. It will come from fullness. You will no longer chase success. You will express it. The millionaire within acts from knowing, not wanting. His gestures are powerful because they are aligned with belief. When you move from this state, the world moves with you. You may wonder why, if this is so simple, not everyone is rich. The reason is unconsciousness. People live as sleepwalkers, reacting to appearances, never realizing they are the source. They worship the effects and forget the cause. They think money has power, but it does not. Power belongs only to consciousness. The moment you know this, money loses its hold over you, and ironically, it flows more freely, for it no longer controls your mind. You are not here to accumulate possessions. You are here to express abundance. Possessions are symbols, not the substance. They come and go, but the consciousness of wealth is eternal. Once you awaken it, you can never be poor again, no matter what outer conditions appear. You may temporarily lose money, but never the awareness that creates it, and that awareness will restore everything easily. Whenever you catch yourself saying, "I can't afford it," pause and correct yourself. Say instead, "It's not a priority right now," or better, "It's already mine in consciousness." You must never declare lack. Every word carries power. Speak as one who has. Speak as the millionaire you truly are. Your words are seeds, and they must bear fruit after their kind. Keep your inner conversations clean. Stop arguing for limitation. Every time you complain about the cost of living, you reaffirm poverty. Every time you speak of abundance, you affirm wealth. You cannot serve two masters. Choose wisely which voice you entertain within. When the voice of fear speaks, answer it with faith. I am the source of all supply. Nothing is withheld from me. Repeat this until the feeling of security returns. At night, before sleep, assume the posture of wealth. Lie quietly and feel the relief of being financially free. Imagine you are writing a large check with ease, helping those you love, living beautifully. Hear your friends congratulating you, not as if it were a dream, but as if it were happening now. Feel the satisfaction in your chest, the peace in your mind, the joy in your heart. Fall asleep in that feeling. Sleep is the gateway to the subconscious. What you feel as true at the moment of sleep becomes the seed of tomorrow. Morning by morning, as you awaken, carry that feeling into your day. Let it color your speech, your actions, your choices. You are training the subconscious through repetition and feeling. Soon it will accept wealth as your natural state, and the outer world will echo that acceptance. The law never fails. It is mechanical, precise, unerring. The only variable is your persistence. The most powerful thing you can do is to stop identifying with lack. You are not the person struggling for wealth. You are the consciousness through which wealth flows. There is an infinite ocean of abundance all around you, and your belief determines how much of it you allow to flow through your experience. You are not a beggar asking for more. You are a creator deciding to open the floodgates. When you see others prosper, rejoice. Their success is proof that the state of wealth is available to you. To envy is to declare separation. To celebrate is to unite. Whatever you praise, you raise. Whatever you condemn, you repel. Therefore, bless every symbol of wealth you see. Bless the mansion, the car, the business, the luxury, for they remind you of your own power to create. Do not confuse humility with smallness. True humility is knowing that you, the human of yourself, can do nothing, but the God within can do all things. You are not boasting when you claim wealth. You are acknowledging the divinity within you. The world may call it arrogance, but heaven calls it faith. Faith is the recognition of unseen reality as present fact. Every act of assumption is a prayer. To assume you are wealthy is to thank God for already having given it. That feeling of gratitude is communion with the divine. When you give thanks for your unseen riches, you align with the truth of being. Prayer is not begging, prayer is claiming. When you claim from the feeling of fulfillment, the universe must obey. Train yourself to notice signs of abundance everywhere. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the sunlight that warms your skin, These are symbols of infinite supply. Life itself is abundance in motion. When you see through this lens, you realize that scarcity is an illusion of perception. The same energy that sustains the universe sustains you. You are never lacking, you are infinitely supplied. When the mind begins to worry, say gently, "Peace, be still." Return to the feeling of wealth. Rest in it. Let it saturate your being. You are not here to make things happen by force. You are here to allow them through alignment. Wealth is not attained, it is revealed. It appears the moment you drop the belief that it is missing. Every great teacher has said the same in different words. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he wishes, not as he hopes, but as he feels himself to be. Feeling is the heart's thought. Whatever you feel yourself to be, you project onto the screen of space. Therefore, guard your feelings as sacred. They are the mold of creation. When you feel unworthy of wealth, you push it away. When you feel deserving, you invite it. Deservingness is not earned by action. It is recognized through awareness. You deserve because you exist. You are the expression of the infinite. How could the infinite withhold from itself? The sense of unworthiness is the greatest thief of abundance. Heal it by remembering who you are. You are not a body seeking wealth. You are consciousness expressing as a body. You are the light behind the eyes, the awareness behind the thought, the silence behind the sound. From that silence, speak your desire into being. The words "I am" are the creative key. Whatever follows them shapes your destiny. Say often, "I am abundance. I am prosperity. I am limitless supply." Feel the truth of it, and let the feeling guide your actions. You will notice subtle shifts first. A new idea, a new person, a small win. Celebrate them, they are evidence of the law working. The more you acknowledge them, the faster momentum builds. Soon the floodgates open, and the invisible becomes visible in spectacular ways. But do not chase the manifestation. Stay focused on the feeling. The feeling is the cause. The form is the effect. Remember always, you are the dreamer of this dream called life. To awaken the millionaire within is to awaken the dreamer. When you change your inner dream, the outer world must obey. Do not fight the characters in the play. Rewrite the script within. You are not here to beg for better scenes. You are here to realize that you are the playwright. As we come to the close of this revelation, I ask you to look once more within. Feel that truth which has been whispering through every word, that the millionaire version of you is not becoming. He already is. He is the version that lives in the eternal now, untouched by doubt, untouched by circumstance, untouched by fear. You are not calling something distant into being. You are remembering yourself. Every act of imagination that feels real, every inner conversation that affirms your abundance, every quiet moment where you know rather than hope, that is the awakening of your divine self. The millionaire is not a dream. It is your identity clothed in imagination, waiting for your recognition. So tonight, go within. Close your eyes and see yourself as already possessing all you desire, not as a wish, but as a fact. Feel the warmth of it. Live from it. Walk as though you have already arrived, because in truth you have. The world will rearrange itself to mirror that inner certainty, for creation is finished, and you are merely shifting awareness to the state where your wealth already exists. Let your new inner language be one of gratitude, confidence, and fulfillment. Refuse to fall back into the illusion of lack. Each time doubt whispers, answer it with your knowing. I am the millionaire. I am wealth itself. I am the source from which all abundance flows. You will discover that the world bends to your feeling, that opportunities you never imagined will unfold, and that your external life will reflect the inner law of assumption with divine precision. And when that moment comes, when the evidence of your inner conviction surrounds you, remember that it was never the world that changed, it was you. You awoke to the truth of your being, and everything else bowed to that awareness. So tonight, claim it boldly, stand tall in the invisible. The millionaire within you is not asleep any longer. He is stirring, he is alive, and he is ready to live through you. Now go forth in faith, and do not wait for the world to confirm it. You confirm the world. Speak only from your fulfilled desire, and let every breath declare, I am the millionaire I have always been.